Welcome and welcome back to my channel, The Anonymous Budgeter. If you guys are new here, welcome. And if you're back for another video, thank you guys so much for checking out my channel. On this channel, I'm on a journey to documenting my debt-free journey. I'm currently in the process of paying off over $160,000 in student loans, and I hope you guys are interested in seeing how I budget my money, how I plan to tackle this debt. And this is something that you're interested in, please stay tuned and let's get right into the video. So in this video, I'm going to be doing a breakdown of my Paycheck 2. It's currently Thursday and I get paid on Friday. I already looked at my pay stub and I know what I'm going to get. So I just wanted to go through my budget Paycheck 2 worksheet. This is like my little budget folder slash binder, just a simple binder that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I made some inserts. But let's get into my Paycheck worksheet. So this is basically my Paycheck budget number 2 worksheet or form. So essentially the way that I budget, I'm a paycheck by paycheck budgeter, or I guess you can say that I'm a beginning of the month and the ending of the month budgeter. So we're currently in the month of March, so my budget really runs from March 1st through March 31st, and at the end of the month I tally everything and I basically close out my month. So with this worksheet, I'm pretty much still kind of like working out the kinks of it. I do apologize for the lighting. The sun is actually setting right now, so I'm trying to do this before it gets dark, but it shouldn't take that long because I kind of have all my numbers set out already. I have my little cheat sheet as always, if you can see it there. So the first thing that we know is that we get paid tomorrow, which is the 22nd. I usually will budget like $3,000 on every paycheck because that's about the lowest amount that I've gotten. And then for my rollover, currently I have a little more than $1,200, so I budgeted like $1,200 just if some little expenses are coming out, and so my total will be $4,200. But like I mentioned, I know what I'm actually getting, what my paycheck is actually going to be, and I'm actually getting $3,103.68. So this is after all my pre-tax deductions and post deductions and whatnot, like my 401k, the match that I get, what I contribute to my match, my HSA, and like my my health, like my medical, dental, and all that jazz, and of course whatever federal deductions that come out. So I'm gonna leave my rollover blank, so tomorrow morning I'll most likely fill that in because I want this number to be as accurate as possible. So what I'm going to do is next go to my auto save. So next I move here. Now I am in the process of paying off debt, so I'm not saving. I do have like a fully funded emergency fund and sinking funds for my like high priority or my main categories that I'm pretty much saving for. So but for my auto savings in my checking account, I do have an auto save where every time I have a deposit, it automatically saves a certain percentage of that deposit. And so for this one, I've budgeted $150, but what I'm actually anticipating on getting is probably about $155.18, but I'll wait for the actual transfer of the savings to go through before I put the actual numbers on there. Now, so everything else from here on out is gonna basically be like the budgeted amount. So what I'm going to budget for this category, which is family, or this bill, is going to be $100. My HP ink, I'm estimating about $8. I don't know why, but I always feel like no matter what, whether I live in a house, an apartment, condo, duplex, studio, I'm always gonna have a printer. I always have a printer on hand because it's just something that even though you don't use it every single day, it's just very convenient to have at home. And I mean, they're not as bulky. You can get really nice small compact ones. I think it's because in school we always needed printers to print something out, and I actually did need to use my printer today because I had to take a CPR training class, and we did actually need to have the physical like paper of the certificate, like that we completed our modules and stuff like that. So yeah, so that came in handy. And now remember I said earlier on that I have to account for the bills in like the first week in April, because I get paid on the 22nd, but I still have bills rolling in April, because I don't get paid until April 5th. So I need to account for the bills that are due from April 1st to the 4th. I technically do it until the 5th, so I have a little bit of leeway there. So I'm not gonna break down what the main bills are, but it basically just includes my rent. I also have a new category for a sinking fund for utility, which is like our power or electricity. And I also have in there like cell phone bill, my Apple storage or my Apple Music, and that type of thing. So that will basically come out of that paycheck. And that amount that I budgeted, let me go ahead and add it out. So that amount is going to be $935 for the May bill. And that, like I mentioned earlier, will include the rent and then some other subscriptions and bills that's going to come out for the month of April. And when I add all of these amounts up, my total for my bills, it's gonna be $1,043. And I forgot to put my total for savings, which will be $150. Okay, so for this amount right here, I budget for like tithes and giving. So I'm budgeting $300. For gas, For gas, I just filled up my tank, but I'm also going to give myself $50. I'm anticipating that is going to be until the end of the month. Gas is kind of almost nearing $3.50 here in my town, so I don't know what's going on. I do have an app where I gas up at Murphy's, and if you have I think it's the Walmart app or something like that, or you have their app, you can get 10 cents off, so I do utilize that. But yeah, gas is pretty pricey, and I'm not budgeting anything for SunPass for the rest of the month. I don't think I will have to pay anything. My SunPass has a minimum balance of $50 just because I do take the express when I go to work, because it's just faster and more convenient, less traffic, and I just zoom through. So it's worth it for me, but I don't think I would need to top it off, but I'll see. If I do need to take another $50, that's perfectly fine. I'm just kind of estimating it right now, so I'll do better or kind of gauge it for next month. And then for groceries, I'm gonna give myself $40 until the end of the month. I think that should hold me over. And in terms of my May expenses and my variable expenses, there's only two categories that I budgeted for. I want to account for my SunPass and gas and my groceries. So I guess 3 categories, but I lumped gas and SunPass together. So that is going to be $160 that I budgeted. And sorry guys. So what I'm gonna do is just add all of this up, and this should add up to $550. Okay, so this is basically how I set things up. And then this time around, I'm not including anything. Oops, I hope you guys can see. I'm not including anything in my sinking fund, so there's not going to be anything going into sinking funds, but I will allocate money for debts. I don't have my student loan payment in this paycheck, but I do want to put some extra payment in there. Let me go ahead and turn my lights off because I don't want it to be too dark, so I'll be right back. But for my extra debt payment, oops, I'm going to budget $2,400 for my extra debt payment, and the total will be $2,400 when we do all of that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna calculate what the balances are, and then I'll just be right back so I can show you guys what those are. So I'm not sure where I ended off because I had to kind of stop and like recalculate my numbers. But like I mentioned, my extra debt payment is gonna be $2,400, and that will leave me with a balance of $57. So I'm not doing anything with my sinking fund, so I just went ahead and put a line across that, so I don't get myself confused. And I'm gonna move on to the next sheet. So this is basically how the paycheck breakdown. Let me shift this on the side. This is kind of like how the sheets work together once I have it in my folder. So this will be like the first part where I break down the income and all the spending and the savings and anything that's really like a cash envelope. I usually will put like a little envelope system next to it, which includes my sinking funds and variables, because not all my sinking funds are cash envelopes, and sometimes not all my variable expenses are like electronics. Sometimes I will have some of them as cash. So then once I do that, I'll take those categories and kind of break them down in the cash envelope section. But since I don't have anything that needs to be, you know, in cash envelopes, I don't need to use this part of the budget. The summary part of it, I have my total income, I have total expenses, everything that I have in savings, sinking funds, which this is easy because we have nothing, and then my total debt. So for my income, we budgeted that we're gonna have $4,200. I hope you guys can see. Let me just do this. Okay, so for my income, we have $4,200. For the total expenses, the total expenses is basically just going to be what I budgeted for my bills and my variables. So that was $1,043 and then $550. And that would give me a total of $1,593. The total amount in my savings that I budgeted for was about $150. We mentioned that I had nothing in my sinking funds, and then my total debt, that was $2,400. So taking my $4,200, I wish it was $42,000. I'm subtracting my expenses. I'm also subtracting the savings and the extra debt payment, and I'm left with $57. Now, it's not quite a zero-based budget, but I like leaving this amount as a buffer in the account. So just in case I have any miscellaneous expenses, because sometimes even though I don't budget for or I don't anticipate extra stuff to come up, so I always like having a little bit of buffer in my account. So I could always put like a category on there that says buffer, and then this would be $57. So this would definitely be a true zero-based budget. But that's basically it. That's all I do for my paycheck budget, and hope you guys enjoyed that. If you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know. Comment down below and let me know if you guys do your budget for your paycheck breakdown the night before, a couple days before, or do you do it after you actually get paid. For me, it just depends on the time that I have. I usually like doing it before, but if I get to do it after, perfectly fine. But thank you guys so much. You have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.